Hello, this is Nate Slaughter, Head of Public Relations for Missouri State's NPHC. Today we're doing a Student Spotlight on Briana Simmons. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Rho Beta Chapter, and she's also the President and Editor-in-Chief of the new student news organization, the Black Bear. She's also a reporter for the university's newspaper, The Standard, and a reporter for KSMU. All right, thank you, Briana, for being here today.
No problem, no problem.
All right. Now, Briana, my first question is, how does it feel to be the president and editor-in-chief of the Black Bear?
It's an amazing feeling. Like, it's something that we've been wanting to do for a while. We just wanted to do it in the right way. And so it took quite a while for us to get things together and to actually release the first issue of the Black Bear. But it's an amazing feeling to be leading something like that.
As a journalist, what stories do you like to cover the most?
Well, I've been working as a journalist for about 3 years now with different publications in Springfield, and I've learned that the best stories are those that impact people. And so I don't have any specific topics or anything that I like to talk about, just anything that concerns or that impacts people within the community. So that can be anything from, I don't know, racial tensions here at Springfield on Missouri State's campus, or it can be, changes in taxes that are, being proposed in different legislation. So it really just depends on what's going on at the time, but I was always told that the greatest stories are those that impact people, and so I like to tell those stories.
Okay, now, the homecoming blackout brought a lot of attention to our campus about race relations and the events going on in Ferguson. Mm-hmm. And the Black Bear was the first on the scene covering the event and reporting what took place to the campus community. Mm-hmm. Now, what was it like covering such a prominent issue?
I think that very question tackles everyone else's question as to why the Black Bear is important to campus and to Springfield. No one else was there to cover it, but we were, and that kind of goes to show what our purpose is on this campus, is to shed light onto the issues and even the triumphs going on in our African American community as far as campus and in Springfield. It was an interesting experience to see everything that played out after. We got calls from so many different news stations and different publications who wanted the information that we had, or wanted to be linked to other people that were involved in the protest. So it brought out, on our side, it just kind of solidified our importance for the campus.
Okay, so how far do you see the Black Bear making an impact on Missouri State's campus and reporting news that pertains to members of the African American community?
It's important for our community to know what is going on within ourselves, and then to also be able to share that information with everyone else. It's almost like we want to be the eyes for everyone else to see what's going on, what really goes on in our community. And so it's not only important for that reason, but also for the members of the Black Bear. It's all about growth. We plan on taking tours and attending different conferences, learning other journalistic skills that we need to eventually take into our professions one day. So not only is it about growth for our members, it's about shedding light on what's going on in our community, and it's also about longevity. Like, I really want to see, after I graduate in May, I want to see the members of the Black Bear, keep this going on for years to come, so that when I come back, I can say, well, wow, it's still going on. So,
all right, now, like I mentioned earlier, Briana is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Rho Beta Chapter here at Missouri State University. And Briana, my question to you is, why did you decide to join Delta Sigma Theta Sorority?
I think it's always interesting. People always want to know, why you want to join a specific organization. For me, I did my research. I looked into different organizations, and Delta Sigma Theta stuck out to me. I felt like those women are strong, and they embody things that I wanted to embody as a woman. I also felt like those were the women that were making changes around the world, and I wanted to be a part of something like that.
And what has been your most memorable experience since joining your sorority?
Well, for our centennial year, I went to D.C. with a couple of my line sisters in pro fights. that was an amazing experience. Probably one of like the biggest, I guess. But this past Delta Week in October, we had a lot of our pro-fights up here. We had our charter members here, and so I got to stroll with my charter members, and we sat down for dinner and different activities that we did throughout the weekend. And so that was probably one of the best experiences so far.
Now, Briana, why would you encourage young ladies to join your sorority or to go Greek overall?
Well, as one of my colleagues said before, that type of involvement is essential to our community. But when you join an organization like Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, you have to also uphold the values and the morals that you're taught during that process. So if Greek life is not for you, I would still encourage young ladies to get involved somewhere. Get involved where they can make a change, where they can make a difference. It doesn't have to be Greek life. Sometimes it is for some people like myself, and others it's not. But I would just encourage them to, don't remain stagnant and satisfied with what's going on in your community too.
Now, in the past, you were involved with Relay for Life, and you were a liaison for the American Heart Association. And I noticed that you like to volunteer your time. Now, why do you think it's important for people to volunteer and be a helping hand in the community?
Well, for me, I just found things that I was passionate about. I have a soft spot in my heart for Black people, women, children, anything involved in like education and things like that. And so for me, it was just finding what I'm passionate about and then giving back to those areas. For anybody else, I mean, I think it's essential to do those things. Changes can't be made with people just remaining stagnant and being satisfied with what's going on in their community. So it's important for you to find what you're passionate about and then give back to that area of your life in the same way that someone has done for you.
Okay, Bree, now to just get a little bit more personal. So what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Hobbies. I mean, I really like the arts. I graduated from a performing arts high school, and so originally I started off dancing and stuff like that, so I still like to get involved in that in any way I can. I like music. I don't know. Anything, I guess, having to do with the arts, dance, music, art, film, anything related to media is what I like.
And now my final question to you is, who has been the most influential person in your life?
The most influential person in my life is definitely my mother. She taught me a lot of the things that I tried to embody and like be the type of woman that she was. So when it comes to anything that I do, any decision that I make, I kind of try and think like, well, what would she do, or how would she have handled this situation? And so she's definitely been a very strong influence in the way that I try to portray myself and the woman that I'm hoping that I'll eventually become.
All right, well, thank you, Bree. All right, everybody, this is Nate Slaughter, Head of Public Relations for NPHC. And I'd like to thank Briana Simmons once again for doing this interview, and thank you for being a leader on campus and a great role model.